I want to talk a little bit about what evidence there is for an afterlife, because when you read books about it, it inevitably comes up that people purport there to be evidence. So I wanted you all to share your thoughts on that. One of the most common tropes is the near-death experience. Yeah. There have been, I think, over the last 3 decades, there's been 40 studies of some 3,400 near-death experiences, and they've been published in journals like Lancet and Annals of American Psychological Journals. And Barbara Haggerty did a book on this called Fingerprints of God, where she interviewed a lot of the people who did these studies that were published in peer-reviewed journals, and a lot of the people she interviewed said that they cannot help but think, after investigating these in a scientific way, that they point to something beyond this life.
I would say almost that was wrong by definition, because it's a near-death experience. It means you didn't die.
But it's the best we have.
No. If someone is reported dead on Tuesday and you see them on Friday, the overwhelming, well, not the obvious conclusion is that the initial report was mistaken. We have no reason to think otherwise. I've read a lot about this stuff. In fact, I have 2, if you care to get The Portable Atheist, which I edited. There are 2 accounts by great philosophers, the late A.J. Ayer, and fortunately very current Daniel Dennett, about their own so-called near-death hospital experiences of people who were battling with very grave onslaughts on their health, which I recommend you read for the very confirming rationality that they bring to it. Dinesh D'Souza, who's a frequent debating partner of mine, has written a book about this too, and the most persuasive example from any hospital he's found, and I get it all the time, is a woman who floated out of her body, out of the bed, made a tour of the outside of the hospital,
saw the shoe,
noticed that there was a running shoe on one of the windowsills, woke up, reported it to a nurse, whose name we've never been told, and who went and looked, and there was the shoe. Now, if that doesn't prove it, I don't know what does. I could hardly be more reassured if I'd been told that it was able to reunite it with its missing pair. NDE is bullshit. It doesn't count. It's not coming back from the dead, nor is it an account of what happens to you when you're gone. It's what can happen to you with the help of life-preserving scientific medicine while you are still alive.
I would just add one thing. This kind of question is still scientifically tractable. People have, reasonably serious people, have tried to study the near-death experience. And this idea of consciousness somehow rising, dissociating from the body and rising to a point above the operating theater and looking down on the body, the phenomenology there is common enough that people seem to think that this is testable. And so some people have put random number generators on the top of cabinets in the operating theater, just on the odd chance that someone comes back saying, I saw this weird digital readout above your cabinets, and it was 35721. That would be very interesting. Now, no one to my knowledge has done that, but if people, this is something we could set up this experiment in advance. It wouldn't be merely anecdotal.
Have they put shoes up there? Because sometimes that...
Well, it's obviously structured along the same lines, but again, there's a reason why we can't make a research program based on that one shoe.
It's about as good as
it's
the
testable, and there's no data there.
Yeah. But people are just as convinced that they used in past lives to be. It always tends to be a princess, you notice. Or a charioteer, or something of this sort. It's as real to them as the rest of their pathetic lives are. But it's subjective, and it's wish fulfilling, and it doesn't count.